Meghan Mays looks like any typical high school senior, bright-eyed and full of energy as she competes in cross-country at Centerville High School. You would never know it now, but Meghan suffered from scoliosis as a child and required back surgery in December of 2011 to correct a 54-degree curve in her spine. It would take the love of her family and the care of Dayton Children's Hospital to get her through it.
As far as visually looking at Meghan, younger when she was a child, 6, 7, 8, visually it was not something that you could tell. You would have to have her stand very still and look at her. But as she was into her teens, she had been in a swimsuit and looking at her back and catching my breath, thinking, oh my gosh, I know where this is going.
When he showed us the x-ray, it was very evident that the 54 degrees was there and something needed to be done.
I knew that my spine was crooked. That's pretty much what I told my friends when they asked why I wore a back brace.
Scoliosis is really not just a curve, but it's a three-dimensional rotation of the spine on the central axis of your body. As your curves increase, that can cause pulmonary and cardiac issues where the curve is pushing on the lungs. So Meghan not only had the scoliosis or that curve, but had a lot of rotation of her spine and a lot of imbalance.
You know, we're sitting in this appointment and he looks at us and says, we're at 54 degrees and it's not going to get any better. And the only solution I see is that we're going to have to do surgery. We're talking rods and screws in her back that she'll have for the rest of her life.
You know, the one thing that's always stuck out is in Dr. Albert's office, there's this huge poster and it says the 7 risks of spine surgery. Going in there and constantly staring that poster in the face, you know, like, you read all the different dangers, and I always thought, you know, that's never gonna happen to me, these braces are gonna work, you know, I'm gonna be fine, I'm not gonna be one of those people that has to get the rods and screws and have to deal with those.
She was in surgery for a long time. It seemed like the whole day, about 5.5, 6 hours.
And we put anchors in the spine called pedicle screws. And these pedicle screws are used to de-rotate the spine. So we put these screws in, we attach rods to these screws, and we actually rotate the spine around to correct her deformity.
We could not put any more trust in anyone than Dr. Albert. He assured us that our little girl would be taken care of.
I'll tell you what, it's a little overwhelming to walk into intensive care and see your daughter completely flat. Tubes coming out of her, machines beeping. It's a little overwhelming. It kind of catches your breath.
We walked into the room and I just saw her laying there and I was just like, whoa, that can't be my sister. She was pale, she wasn't responsive, and you know, it scared me.
Meghan's recovery was slow and painful, but soon she could feel the benefits of her surgery.
It's pretty amazing, the difference after. You know, you don't think that you're in pain before, but then afterwards, when you're completely straight at 9 degrees, you're like, wow, maybe before I was in a little bit more discomfort than I had thought.
No parent wants their child to ever have to need the facilities of Dayton Children's, but when you need it, it's just so comforting to know that that facility is there and the facility is available for your use. But to have Dayton Children's for this area is vitally important for our community, vitally important for the care of our children.
I think just the little things is what made my stay at Children's so tremendous, and one that I'll remember, for the rest of my life. Without the donations of countless of different organizations, none of the care that I received would have been possible. And to donate to Dayton Children's is to donate to the care of a child, and I think that, what better place to donate your money,
After 6 long months of recovery, Meghan was eager to give her back a real test.
When she was released in April and Dr. Albert said you don't have to wear the brace anymore, you can do what you want to do, Meghan took him at face value and she said, I want to water ski.
So she got out in the water and to tell you the truth, I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what was going to happen. When my dad yelled back, are you ready? And she yelled yes, that was when I was just like, all right, come on, you got to get up. And she got up on the first try and that was a good moment for me because I knew that she was back to her old self.
That was awesome. That was the best day of my life. I promise you that. I got up on the skis and I was fine, no pain. I tubed back and forth with my brother, fell off the tube. I was fine. At the end of it all, it turned out for the best, and here I am today,
Just the experience of having to have your child in a hospital. Not any parent's first choice, but it was necessary. I could not have been at a better place and dealt with better people.
We've got a girl who's just, as far as I'm concerned, she's perfect.